This is Gloria of Gloria's Haven. Today I'd like to show you just a few more details of my craft room. If you were able to view the video craft room tour video scene number 1, you were able to just see a brief overview of the room. But today I'd like to just share with you a few more details of some of the things that I have in my room, where I got them and what I did to them. Hope you enjoy. Now I'm just going to pan down around mainly to the shelf that I have on the wall. This is one of the first shelves that I purchased, and I got this shelf at a local Goodwill store. I probably paid maybe about, I don't know, a couple dollars for it. It was all wooden. No, I take that back. This one was multicolored, but it was a wooden shelf, but it was multicolored. So what I did was I got some black spray paint, and I spray painted it black. I also added a little bit of bling. As you can see, some pearls on the edge, and then just some glitter bling right there. This sign that I have here, with God, all things are possible. I purchased this little stand at Gordman's, our local Gordman's store. So that's one of the shelves that I got. Most of the frames, the pictures that I have in the room, they were different colors, and I just spray painted everything black. This here is some stenciling that I placed on the wall. The paint, the colors of my room. And I just stenciled in a little fairy and a butterfly. So we go down further. This little spinner here, most all of us in our craft room have this. I added just some wording there for my clips. That little black and white pad I purchased at Hobby Lobby. And I like to add something into the label holders. This little spot here was actually the napkins from a wedding ceremony. I loved it. It was black and white. The mask matches my room, so I just shoved it in there. Okay, and I'll go around a little further. Over here is another shelf that I purchased at the same Goodwill. This one was $2.99, and it was all wood. There again, we had to prime this one first because it had a gloss on it, and then spray painted it black. Added some bling on there just to decorate it up a little bit. And once again, I purchased this sign, Simplify, also from the same store called Gordman's. That little diamond thing up there is from a friend of mine's son years and years ago. I call him my diamond man. He's in college now, but I've kept it for all those years, so I just added it on there on top of the eye. I drop down to my ribbon board. This ribbon board was purchased at Hobby Lobby. And I just add some of the cards, the handmade cards that I've made on there. And there again, that's my ribbon board. If I go down a little further, I had these in the video before. I purchased these baskets at Michael's. The 6 cube drawer here is one of those Jetmax cubes, or Recollections, or whatever the name of it is. I also got that at Michael's. When I went to go get some Jetmax cubes, I really didn't want this one. My daughter was with me and she talked me into getting it, and I'm awfully glad she did. These are some labels that I've added to the baskets that actually have something in them. I used these. I typed up what I needed on there, punched them out with my tag label maker, and just tied them onto the bags. I go up a little further and show you some of the word art. Now this word art, all the word art that you'll see on my walls, I actually got it at one of our local Dollar Trees in their little scrapbook section that they have. They were just stickers. I love them because they're repositionable. They stick on the wall. You can pull them off and place them anywhere you want them, and they don't pull the paint off or leave a residue or anything of that nature. This one says, "Love makes everything grow." And then I have butterflies. Somewhat of the theme in my room also is butterflies, for however reason that got that way. But those came from a local Dollar Tree for $1. This little wall hanger here came from Hobby Lobby. That's a little metal letter initial. That's the initial of my last name. And I go up a little bit further. There's some more of the word art. That one says faith. I go up even further. Let's focus this one in. That one says love. And then I'll go around. Oop, where is it? There's another word art. That one says dream is a wish the heart makes. And then this word art says hope. Now this sign here I talked about in my first video as part of some of the word art, or excuse me, digital artwork that I've done. This is a sign of a quote that I came up with when I first began working in the scrapbooking, and it says, "A picture taken today is a memory created for tomorrow." And I believe that so much because our pictures, I say, are our life. They're a history of our life. And when we take that picture and we preserve it, it's a memory for someone else at a later time. And I just thought that was a nice quote, so I put that together and hung that on the wall. This here is another piece of wall hanging that I got at Hobby Lobby. And most of the frames, such as this one here, I purchased these as just 12 by 12 scrapbook frames that I got at Michael's. You can get them in black and you can get them in white. And I usually use black because most everything on my wall is black. And that's what I put my digital artwork into. As I go down here, I was in either Marshall's or TJ Maxx. I get those stores mixed up here. And I was in there actually looking to see what they had in their scrapbook section, and I saw this stand, and I went back and forth. Should I get this stand? What am I going to use it for? I don't need it for anything. But I knew that I had this corner empty in my room, and I went on and got it. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it. It might be like a magazine rack or something. I don't know. But anyway, it works perfectly in the corner. It's black. There again, I just added a little bit of embellishment on there to kind of jazz it up a little bit. It sits there in the corner. Over here is a bag. Just because it's black and white and it's in the damask color, that's why I got it from Hobby Lobby. There again, Hobby Lobby is a great store for home decor. And it just works so perfectly for the decor of my room. Okay. Now I showed my Jetmax cubes in the last video. I'll go into more detail of what's in the drawers of this at a later time as well. But those are all my Jetmax cubes. I think I have about 27 of those now. Over here, as mentioned before, is my die cutting station. I have my baby bug, my cuddle bug, and my grand caliber bug. Nope, just my grand caliber. Anyway, I'll talk about the covers of those in another video as well. And here we have the memory, well, whatever, the embellishment center. This again was another piece that I really didn't want when I was redoing my room. I didn't want this so big, and my mom was with me that time. And she basically just talked me into getting it. And the reason I didn't want to get it is because when I looked at all of you all's videos of your craft room. At that time, you know, you had your ribbons on there, you had your stickles and your glitters and paints and that. At the time, I was not into all of that, so I was like, well, I don't really need that because I'm not using that stuff. But I got it anyway, and then I used it more as a decorative type center, and that's where you'll see the baskets. See all of the baskets that I have? I purchased those. I got some of those at Michael's, some at Old Time Pottery, and some at Hobby Lobby. I got the words there, scrap in, and I added a little bit more bling on the top of this as well. I guess I like to kind of jazz up the shelves a little bit. And then up there again is another wall art sticker. It says dwell in the possibilities. But I'm glad that I did get this shelf. As you can see, I now have stickles. I now have glitter. I've added some little buttons for color, and I like it. I've rearranged this center several times, moving things around. But I like the color that's added to it, and I'm sure I'll probably do something else to that one as well. And we'll go around. Here's another frame that I had my husband to spray paint black, and a picture frame up there. And I'll go down and just show you my workstation again. This is the table that I work at. I leave my mats on the table here and my craft mat, and this is what I work on. I do have another table like this that when I am working, I'll put it out to the side so that I'll have more room to spread out and work on. So that was just a little bit more of my room. I'll come back to you again, and maybe next time we'll get to go into my Jetmax cubes and see what I have in there. So, thanks for watching. Bye.